Peter Orszag was on television and said some positive things here. At least said something that the press doesn't even point at. Here he is on CNN. It's clip number 6.
Now, the president has been adamant. He wants this passed by the House, passed by the Senate, even if he disagrees with a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Both pass them by August so that then you can all get together and try to strike the grand compromise. There are many in Congress, as you know, who say that's an arbitrary deadline. Among them is Mike Ross. He's one of the conservative blue dog Democrats who says he wants to get this done, and he wants to get it done this year.
Right.
But
whether we get it done in before August or after August, what's the hurry? We've been trying to do this since Teddy Roosevelt. What's important, I believe, is that we slow down, we get it right, and that we do it this year.
the August deadline has been in almost everything the president has said about this. But when he had the hastily arranged event on Friday, and then again in his weekly radio/YouTube address this weekend, he does not mention August. Is that deadline now off the table?
No, it's still the goal, and we
still
think,
the goal, or still the president's insistence?
We think we can make that. We're working towards that. And we have to remember, there are some who are advocating delay simply because they don't have anything to put on the table. The typical Washington bureaucratic game of, if you don't have a better alternative, just delay in the hope that that kills something, is partly what's playing out here. Not with regard to many members of Congress and senators who are actually actively participating in the debate. That's great. But there are those who are advocating delay just as a desperation move to try to kill this.
I assume you don't include Mike Ross and the Blue Dog Democrats in that group.
He's in the constructive.
So there's a constructive group in the House that says, we'd like a little more time to think this over. There's a group in the Senate, 6 senators sent the president a letter this week, Republicans and Democrats. The Republicans you would very much need to make this a bipartisan plan in the Senate. They say, Mr. President, we want to get there this year. We share your goals, but we need more time.
Well,
why not?
And the discussions are occurring. I mean, with regard to the Blue Dogs, there are discussions over the weekend. Same thing with regard to the Senate Finance Committee. Those are happening, continuing happening today, and they will be ongoing. I think there's a lot of progress, and discussions are quite active.
John King, you tool. Why don't you just lay out the Republican and conservative Democrat and corporatist and healthcare industry and lobbyist platform for them? Why don't you just do their job for them? Okay, you're supposed to be a reporter. You're supposed to delve into what actually happens. Look, I'm glad that Peter Orszag at least mentioned, hey, you know, some of these guys don't actually need more time to study. They're not going to go home and be like, oh, wow, I didn't see 1 BC. Let's mark this up. Yeah, I'm going over this line by line. It's a good thing we have more time. Come on. How can you be so stupid as a political reporter? Of course that's not what they're doing. So I'm glad at least the White House budget director points it out. But John King, instead of being like, oh, that's interesting, hey, do you think Mike Ross, your fellow Democrats who are also taking money from these corporations, might be in on it? He says, Mike Ross isn't in on it, is it? No, right, of course. Now, these guys are honest, right? There's a group of people who earnestly want to take more time and don't really want to kill this thing, right? Way to be an ace reporter, John King. Way to delve into what's actually happening. Look, our corporate media has a gigantic problem. And for the last, how many years we've been doing this show now? 6, almost 7 years. We've been trying to figure out what the hell's wrong with the media. And a lot of you will be rightly frustrated with me and say, Jake, you naive schmuck, it's so obvious, right? It's because they get advertising dollars from the same kind of companies and corporations. They're part of the same D.C. establishment. I tend to think that that's an oversimplification because reporter by reporter, I don't think that they think, okay, oh my God, Arthur Daniels Midland gave the Washington Post this much money, or you know what, Viagra is paying X amount of money for CNN, so I'm going to be John King and go with the pharmaceutical companies. I don't think it's that simple, okay? But are they compromised? It's bottom line, results-wise? That's inarguable, man. There's almost no one in the corporate media who goes and challenges government, whether it's Democrats or Republicans. Everybody goes along to get along. They don't. Where's the big expose on CNN on how these politicians, I'll leave out the adjectives, keep taking millions of dollars from the healthcare industry, and how that might, maybe, influence their vote. No, that's so impolite. That's so impolite. What happens when Wolf Blitzer and John King run into Orrin Hatch and Ben Nelson at a cocktail party? That'll ruin their appletinis. Oh, we can't have it. We can't have it. No. Instead, pretend to go along. No, not pretend. To go along with the fiction. Make a whole theater out of it. And the Washington Post and Politico and CNN and all these guys will be like, oh, I'll tell you, these great senators, they really have your best interests in mind. They're trying to keep costs down, and every night they're studying this bill line by line. Why don't you just work as their PR hack? This system is broken. The media is completely broken. The question of why is an excellent question. We're going to have to leave that for another day and another segment. But look at this. They're not even trying to tell you what's actually happening with healthcare reform. Right now, there is an unbelievable, fantastically interesting fight going on between the lobbyists and the corporations versus the people who actually want reform. And when you turn on television or you pick up the paper, you don't find out that story at all. You find out a fictional, made-up story that they want you to hear about two principled parties trying to do what's best for the American people. That is crap reporting. That is hideous journalism. And as Walter Cronkite died, these guys all like, oh, Walter Cronkite, what a great, great reporter. Oh, he was the granddaddy of them all. Oh, should we do like he did and challenge the government? Oh, hell no, don't be crazy. Crazy old Uncle Walter. No, of course not. Government, what PR sheets do you have for us? Oh, Senator, great. Yes, I'll read that on there. Fantastic. The only legitimate thing you can do, only criticism that the media feels is right to do, is when one politician challenges another politician. Because if you have power, then you're worthy of quoting by the power-sucking media. Okay? But the people who suck up to power. But if you don't have any power, or, you're expressing a point of view that is true, but not backed up by money or people in power, that's outside the establishment. Please step aside. So, this week, turn off your TV. It ain't going to help you at all. Okay? You're not going to get any, semblance of truth from them. With a very few exceptions, obviously some of the MSNBC primetime shows understand what's happening. But outside of that, forget about it. You're going to listen to John King tell you a story and a tale. You're going to pick up the Washington Post and have them give you this garbage that they're peddling? Please.